we're not going to do all of it for you. And I think, especially where our kids' ages are, even at Hunter's age, she has to do it. She's 7 years old. She has to take responsibility. She has tennis practice 3 days a week right now. If she forgets her racket or shoes or something else, that's something she's going to learn, because she's 7 years old. And so I think the earlier you do it, the better your kids are prepared for what the expectation are.
So every inconvenience that they put themselves in is an opportunity to teach them how to build high agency, right? And you got to see things that way.
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
Hello, honey. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. We had a really good coaching call with some of our clients today.
We did.
That's how we started the morning off. So that was kind of neat.
Have another one right after this, too.
Yeah.
Which will be great.
We're just moving and grooving today.
Had a great leadership conference this past weekend. We have been doing our thing.
I know, moving.
Which is good. Plus, we've been getting our fitness game on. We've been exercising and working out and getting stronger. And it's been a good thing, too.
I know.
Right.
We're getting ready to celebrate a little bit of vacation time that we've earned. We're going to go on a trip.
Hey, by the way, about working out, what do you call a snowman with a six-pack?
I do not know.
You call him an abdominal snowman.
That's why you led into that.
Okay. Yeah, and we do have some vacation time coming up, which is going to be nice.
Yeah.
Good reward for us. We have a McCall trip for some lake living time and stay in a resort with the whole fam, celebrating some wins, because you got to celebrate wins. And then we also are going to go see the Redwoods.
You've been waiting for a very long time.
Our brand. And we get to go actually see the Sequoia National Park. It's kind of nice where we live now. It's just a road trip instead of a big flight and everything else. So that's going to be fun. I'm sure we will have some more to discuss on that afterwards. But let's talk today. I've been on this kick lately, as you know. Can't get it out of my brain to really keep talking about this topic called high agency. And high agency is basically when you develop yourself into the person that instead of your life being bent by circumstances, you're able to take your will and bend life regardless of circumstances to become whatever it is that you want it to become, and it becomes a lifestyle. It becomes a mindset. And, I want to talk today a little bit about how to raise high agency kids, how to raise children who solve problems instead of making excuses, and so part of it is that, we got to stop solving every problem for our kids.
Right.
And so what if the greatest gift you could give your child wasn't protection, but the confidence that they can figure hard things out? Right.
I mean, some of the most loving parents unintentionally raise dependent adults because they never let the kids struggle through things.
Yeah. So let's talk about this today. Let's talk today about one of the most important skills that you'll ever build into your kids and yourself, which is high agency. So, just a quick reminder for everybody out there. Our mission with doing this podcast is not to simply raise good kids. It's to raise high agency adults who love God, who love people, who take ownership, who solve problems and make the world around them better. And so, just a little context with this. I think we all know that the world teaches things like, I'm a victim. I mean, everywhere you go, we are taught victim mentality, that somebody else needs to fix the problems that are in front of me. Or we're taught like a weird entitlement that I just simply deserve better, and what does high agency teach? High agency teaches a different mindset. It's instead of I'm a victim, it's, well, what can I do? Right? Instead of just let me sit here and be upset about something, how do I actually do something instead of someone needs to fix this, someone else needs to fix it. It's like, well, what are my options to actually make this a situation I want? Or instead of, geez, I just deserve better than this, and I'm just going to sit around and just pout about it. It's always the phrase that I want all of our kids always saying is, what's my next move? And so let's talk about some examples of how this comes into play. But, so for instance, let's say that, have we ever had examples where, maybe a kid forgot to do their homework or didn't do it on time? Have we ever had that happen?
Yes. And, it has to bend direct through you and me because we homeschool our kids. But yes, we've had situations where we later found out our kids were maybe messing around during homework season. They were, doing other things, playing around on their computer, doing other things. And by the time, once we find out, once I've done some research, I kind of recognize, I don't think this kid's doing their homework, on the consistent that we should be on. We have a choice. Do we blame us for that because we didn't do something right? Do we take the ownership ourselves for some reason? Or do we ask our children, what's going on here? This is not how this goes. So what do you think we should do about this?
Yeah, our situation is a little unique just because of the homeschool component.
Yeah.
But at the same time, though, like in our house, it's usually like if they forgot to do their homework, then it turns into, well, yeah, but I had these other things that were on my schedule, and yeah, but I had this and this and this. And there's like a lot of these excuses. And, boy, you don't understand. I just had so much to do.
Right.
And that's kind of like the victim mindset versus just saying, okay, like, how can you still get your homework done, even though you just had a 2-day golf tournament, even though you still had to do chores, even though we did have to travel because of a business trip or something, how do you still do it? Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of it is asking them to figure out their schedule, figure out their time frames, and get it done regardless. And if they can't, to bring it to us ahead of time, not try to just ignore it.
Yeah. I think if it's a parent out there that has your kids that actually go to school, they don't homeschool. Here's what a low agency parent would do if a child forgot their homework at school. The low agency parent would probably call the school, right? Or they might just bring the homework, and that's all that they do. Or they might email the teacher and kind of make an excuse for the kid, instead of. And a high agency parent would ask the kid, how do you think you should handle this? We've done this before. I think about even sports, and let's say that somebody's behind on some chores or they haven't been following through on something. And we've told the kids, well, you have a choice. Okay, so if you don't get XYZ done that you're supposed to do, that's your responsibility, then you will not go to practice that day, right?
Yeah, and then they also have to let their coach know that they're not going to make it and why.
They have to actually talk to them face to face, and they have to explain the truth.
Yeah, they have to they have to take it upon themselves to explain it to the coach.
Yeah, and it's uncomfortable, but that's exactly what they need.
Yeah,
because we have to teach them how to take ownership. And so we've had to do that quite a bit. Have we ever had our kids ever forget some sport equipment?
Yes, of course. I think every parent has.
And so how does a high agency parent handle that?
Typically we look at them and we're just I guess you're going to have to decide how you're going to figure this out. You're still at practice. We've already dropped you off. So how are you going to handle it? And I will tell you, they figure it out. They always figure it out. I know it happened to Abby actually last year. She forgot her tennis shoes or something like that. And she had her Birkenstocks on or something like that.
Sandals.
On. And, this was before they were driving. So it was I don't know, you had dropped them off and had to go somewhere else. I think I was in a meeting and I'm I don't know what you want me to do. After this meeting, I can try to swing by if you still have practice, but I'm not available right now. And sure enough, she figured out, I don't know if she borrowed somebody else's shoes. I don't know if she grabbed her sister. I have no clue but she stayed and she figured it out, and she hasn't forgotten them since. I'll tell you that much.
Or I even think about sometimes, I remember this situation where the kids were starting to get a little bit loose in the morning, remember? So they have a certain amount of homework they need to do.
Yeah.
Plus there's a certain amount of chores to do. Then they had to make lunch. And, there's this process and this schedule. There needs to be a little fluff time in there in case you're coming home and you have groceries and they got to help unload stuff. And, but they were trying to cut on the edge of waking up a little bit late.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, the time they should have started, homework. Now they're still trying to
They're
eat
making
food.
breakfast or something. Yes.
And I remember we had to say, okay, listen, this is how this is going to work. Okay. You're going to do schoolwork between this time and this time. So you can get up whatever time you want, but at 9 o'clock or whatever it was, there is no more food. Like, I don't care if you're halfway through making your breakfast, we will either throw it out or save it for afterwards.
For lunch. It's coming for lunch.
It's coming for lunch, but you will not eat until lunch.
Well, and then they try to take the food into their schoolroom to eat.
Of course. That was a big no.
And I'm like, again, this is not how we handle things.
And I don't remember who it was. There was probably at least one or two kids.
Oh, at least two. It's always at least two.
Where they were fasting in the morning.
Yep.
It was good for them.
And it's okay. Then they figured it out. You know what I mean? Again, though, it's, making these rules. And then, these aren't rules that are like crazy rules. These are kids taking responsibility for things that you've given them the privilege to do. When we allow our kids to go do something like sports, we're expecting, if we do our part, which is pay for you to get into the sport, help you get to the tryouts, get you to the practice, that you're going to take responsibility to have all the equipment ready to go. Do you know what I mean? Or if we are taking the time to help you with your homework and get you in the best school, situation for yourself.
Yeah.
We expect that you're going to do that homework. We're going to set you up for success, but you have to step into it. We're not going to do all of it for you. And I think, especially where our kids' ages are, even at Hunter's age, she has to do it. She's 7 years old. She has to take responsibility. She has tennis practice 3 days a week right now. If she forgets her racket or shoes or something else, that's something she's going to learn, because she's 7 years old. And so I think the earlier you do it, the better your kids are prepared for what the expectation are.
So every inconvenience that they put themselves in is an opportunity to teach them how to build high agency, right? And you got to see things that way, parents out there, because again, we are warring against a whole world that wants to teach you just how to be a victim and everything's against you. And so don't ever learn how to take care of yourself. Just learn how to be a really good whiner about everything. Like that's...
Well, what's that one phrase? The squeaky wheel
gets the grease.
Yeah, gets the grease.
And it's kind of true. I mean, but we kind of don't even allow that in our house.
That's right. We're just like, actually, that's not how we have standards in our home.
100%. Do it with our coaching clients, everybody.
Yes.
Do it with people that, like, if you're just coming up with issues all the time and want to just bellyache and not get results and not fix it, then you're talking to the wrong person.
Right. And I think when
you just don't cater to it.
And then I think as parents, though, we get the opportunity every day to show them what that's like.
Yeah.
And in our own, you mentioned even in coaching, we have this situation happen sometimes. We recognize how we want to handle it with our coaching clients, but then it gives us an opportunity to teach the kids how we would handle something like that.
Sure.
And therefore they understand mom and dad's standards, that we're high agency people. We handle things the way they should be handled, not just what's comfortable, not what the society suggests, not just because it's easier, but because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, I can even think of Chrissy with her Super Kids program, and every now and then there's like, the internet doesn't work, and she's in the middle of her
her Zoom.
And it's so funny because then you get some people, I mean, this is like $10 a month. You get some people who all of a sudden they cancel their membership because one Zoom didn't work. But it's hard when you're new and you care about the people that she's serving, and she has an expectation and she has goals she's trying to hit, and she's working really hard, and this was out of her control. But she can sit around and she could be really upset about that, which is okay for a little bit. It's part of emotional intelligence.
Absolutely.
You've got to let yourself feel something, but you got to have a limit on how long you're going to sit in it.
Well, yeah. And just a little quick plug in. Chrissy has the most amazing Bible study for young kids aging from the ages of about 4 to 12. Twice a month, and it's called Super Kids. If you guys want more information, go to our Instagram links and whatnot, and you'll see it.
Or just DM us. DM us Super Kids, and we'll notice.
She is a phenomenal teacher, educator, but she loves teaching young adults, young kids, how to love the Lord more and love the community in it. And she only charges $10 a month per kid. You then even get a recording of the videos. They do games. But I will just tell you, we have had to teach Chrissy, like you said, the example that you just said, because maybe an internet issue, which, by the way, anybody out there knows you have internet issues periodically or cell phone issues or whatever, or some parents, unfortunately, this is another example of not performing at a high agency level, is the parents allow the kids dictate that they don't want to get up in the morning for it sometimes. Chrissy does it in the morning, and it's not early. It's like at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. But because the parents
That's in our time frame, and some of these people are in
10 or 11. Yeah. Because she does it all across the U.S. And some parents are like, my kid just really doesn't want to get up in the morning. Or it's just really hard to get my kid up in the morning. And she's like, we're talking about important things like a relationship with the Lord. I don't understand, Mom, why they don't want their kids to be part of something so beautiful. And so I think, again, this is a high agency thing that you're kind of recognizing you're not performing at that level for your family.
Yeah, for sure. So, the way I grew up, I feel like society in general was a more of a high agency type of a mindset. In other words, you and I grew up more in an atmosphere where teachers could be harsher. And I don't mean like mean. I'm just saying like hold the line.
Yeah, they were stricter.
Not put up with your stuff.
Yeah.
Not let you have excuses. Not let you be a victim. And we had the football coaches that I remember the concept was always like, whatever happened, you got hammered out there or you hurt something. And it was always like, are you injured or are you hurt? Right? That was always the thing. If you're injured, that means like a bone sticking out. You better sit out. If you're just hurt, then suck it up, Buttercup, and get out there and go win this because your team is depending on you. And they taught you how to not use excuses for anything. But it wasn't just only on the parents. Like today, I feel like it's a lot on the parents because the world is teaching victim mindset. Everywhere you go, your kids are getting pressured with this victim mentality. So you're going to have to really hold the line at home, and you're going to have to be the loudest voice in your household.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, they've taken so much away from teachers to be able to hold the line at times because they really feel like teachers should not be able to get that involved.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic because, people take whatever you give them, right? But,
yeah, totally. But I'm just saying that's one of the examples of what's going on today.
All right. We got to go to part 2 here in a minute, but this is good stuff. High agency kids is where it's at.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.